Every year, hundreds of thousands of Western men board flights to Southeast Asia. They're not just chasing beaches and temples. They're chasing something far more intoxicating: connection, affection, love, or at least something that looks exactly like it. In the bars of Bangkok, the beaches of Bali, and the karaoke clubs of Angeles City, a quiet industry thrives. No pimps, no street corners, no obvious transactions, just smiles, romance, and promises that dissolve the moment the plane takes off. Welcome to the world of the holiday girlfriend, where love has become the ultimate export and loneliness the most profitable import. By the end of this video, you'll understand why thousands of men willingly pay for affection they know might be fake, and why for many women this isn't exploitation, it's survival. But first, let me ask you something. If both people know the rules of the game, is it still wrong? Let's start with the men. Picture this. You're 45, divorced, maybe overweight. You've spent years on Western dating apps where women half your age won't even look at you, where every date feels like a job interview, where feminism and gender politics have turned romance into a minefield. You're tired, lonely, invisible. Then a friend tells you about Thailand, about the Philippines, about Vietnam. It's different there, he says. The women actually appreciate you. So you book a ticket, and within 24 hours of landing, something miraculous happens. You're not invisible anymore. You're desired, charming, powerful. A beautiful woman half your age looks into your eyes and tells you you're handsome. She holds your hand in public. She introduces you to her friends. She texts you constantly. For the first time in years, you feel alive. But here's what you don't see yet. She's done this before, many times. She has a script, a playbook, and you're not the hero of this story. You're a customer in a performance so well rehearsed, you'll never spot the curtain. This isn't prostitution in the traditional sense. There's no hourly rate, no negotiation in a dark alley, no shame. At least not on the surface. It's something far more sophisticated. Emotional escorting. She becomes your girlfriend for the week, for the month, for however long your visa lasts. She'll cook for you, laugh with you, sleep beside you, and make you believe, even if just for a moment, that this is real. And maybe, in some strange way, parts of it are. But make no mistake, behind every kiss there's a calculation. Behind every "I love you," there's a question. How much will he send when he goes home? Now, before you judge these men too harshly, understand this. They're not all predators. Most are just broken, casualties of modern dating, where loneliness has become an epidemic, and human connection feels like a luxury only the young and attractive can afford. So they come to Southeast Asia, where affection is abundant and the price, while real, feels worth it. Not all holiday girlfriend markets are created equal. Each country has its own flavor, its own rules, its own moral code. Let's take a tour. Beginning with Thailand, the industry capital. Thailand wrote the playbook. This is where the girlfriend experience became an art form. In Pattaya, it's brazen. Bar girls openly advertise their availability, but the smart ones don't just sell a night, they sell a relationship, a week-long romance, a month of make-believe. She'll move into your hotel, share your meals, pretend to be your wife, And when you leave, she'll cry at the airport like her heart is breaking. Then she'll wipe her tears, open her phone, and start chatting with the next lonely man scrolling through TikTok in Ohio. The Philippines, the sweetheart deal. The Philippines is different. Here, religion and poverty create a unique dynamic. Filipino women are raised to be caregivers, loyal, family-oriented, and when a foreign man offers escape from poverty, many don't see it as prostitution. They see it as marriage training. She's not selling sex. She's auditioning to be a wife. And for many Western men, this feels authentic. They send money to her family. They meet her relatives. They believe they're rescuing her. But here's the uncomfortable truth. She's often talking to 3 other men at the same time. Each one believes he's special. Each one is sending money. It's not cheating. It's diversification. In Vietnam and Cambodia, the new frontier. These countries are newer to the game, but they're learning fast. Vietnamese women are more subtle. They prefer the illusion of serendipity, a chance meeting at a coffee shop, a friendship that blossoms into romance. The money comes later, wrapped in gift-giving and helping a friend. Cambodia is rawer, more desperate. Poverty here is crushing, and the line between survival and transaction is razor-thin. So just before we continue, if you're getting value so far, could you please drop a like on this video? This really means a lot to me, and I appreciate every single like on this video. Thank you. Now, for Indonesia, this is the Instagram paradise. Bali is where the fantasy becomes aspirational. Here, it's not dingy bars, it's rooftop clubs and infinity pools. The women are educated, speak English, and present themselves as equals. But the dynamic is the same. She's beautiful, he's wealthy, she provides the experience, he gives the lifestyle. It's prostitution in a bikini with a green juice in hand. So now you understand the landscape. But here's the question that really matters. These men aren't stupid. Most of them know on some level that this isn't a fairy tale. They know money is part of the equation. But here's what makes the holiday girlfriend industry so brilliant. It gives both sides just enough plausible deniability to pretend it's real. He's not paying for sex. He's helping his girlfriend. She's not a prostitute. She's a woman in a relationship with a generous man. It's a beautiful lie they both agree to tell. In an anonymous post, a man wrote, "I know she's with me partly because I help her financially, but she also makes me happy. Is that so wrong?" Lai, 31, from Vietnam, made this statement in an interview. He thinks I love him. Maybe I do, a little. But mostly, I love that he pays my mother's hospital bills. The truth is, these relationships exist in a gray zone between transactional sex and genuine affection. Sometimes feelings develop. Sometimes she does fall for him. Sometimes he marries her and they build a life together. But most of the time, it's theater. Beautifully performed, emotionally convincing theater. And this is where things get complicated. Because who's exploiting whom? Is it the wealthy foreigner using his economic advantage to buy affection from poor women? Or is it the women leveraging their youth and beauty to extract money from desperate, lonely men? Feminists in the West call it exploitation. They see vulnerable women forced into sex work by poverty. But many of the women themselves reject that narrative. They'll tell you this is empowerment, that they're making more money than their brothers with college degrees, that they're choosing this life, and they're good at it. One bar manager in Pattaya told me, "These girls aren't victims. They're businesswomen, and they're better at reading men than any therapist." So maybe the real exploitation isn't the transaction itself. Maybe it's the poverty that creates the market in the first place. Because here's what nobody wants to admit. If these women had better options, most wouldn't be doing this. And if these men felt valued in their own countries, most wouldn't need to fly 8,000 miles to feel desired. The holiday girlfriend industry exists because two groups of people are desperately hungry, one for money, one for connection. And capitalism, as always, found a way to feed them both. Every fantasy has an expiration date. For most holiday romances, it comes at the airport. She cries. He promises to send money. They both know they'll talk less and less until the messages stop entirely. He goes home, back to his ordinary life, back to the loneliness that drove him there in the first place. And she? She takes a few days off, then logs back into the apps, because rent is due, because her family is counting on her, because this is her job. But some men can't let go. They send money every month, hundreds, sometimes thousands. They believe they're taking care of their girlfriend. They don't realize she has other boyfriends doing the same thing. In an expat community forum, one user has this to say, "I found out she's been messaging 5 other guys the whole time. I feel like an idiot. I sent her $20,000 over 2 years. She used it to build a house for her and her Thai boyfriend. She told me she was pregnant with my child. Turns out the baby doesn't even exist." These stories are everywhere in expat forums. Men are realizing they've been played, hearts broken, savings drained. But here's the darkest part. Many of them go back anyway, because even fake love feels better than no love at all. Some men never learn. They become permanent residents, rotating through girlfriends, each one younger than the last. They grow bitter, cynical, but they stay, because going home means admitting it was all a lie. Others wake up, they see the pattern, they grieve, and they leave. But a small percentage, maybe 5%, find something real. They meet a woman who genuinely falls for them. They build a life, get married, have children, and those success stories, they're what keep the other 95% coming back. Because hope, even false hope, is intoxicating. So here we are at the end, and maybe you're judging these men, maybe you're judging these women, but before you do, consider this. The holiday girlfriend industry isn't an aberration. It's a symptom. It's what happens when Western society makes men feel worthless, while simultaneously telling them to man up and stop complaining. It's what happens when entire countries are kept poor, while tourists from rich nations arrive with wallets thicker than a year's salary. It's what happens when love itself becomes so rare, so difficult, so exhausting, that people would rather buy a convincing imitation than keep searching for the real thing. These men aren't villains. They're casualties of modernity, of dating apps that reduce humans to swipeable pictures, of economies that leave millions lonely and disconnected, of cultures that have forgotten how to teach men and women to actually connect. And these women? They're not victims or villains either. They're survivors, playing the hand they were dealt in a world that gives them few other options. The tragedy isn't that this industry exists. The tragedy is that so many people, on both sides, feel they have no better choice. Southeast Asia didn't invent prostitution. It didn't even invent the girlfriend experience. What it did was perfect the art of selling emotional intimacy at a time when the world is starving for it. And until we address the root causes, male loneliness, economic inequality, the collapse of traditional community structures, this industry will keep growing. Because people will always pay for a connection. And in a world this cold, even fake warmth can feel like salvation. So the next time you see a couple that doesn't quite make sense, the older Western man, the younger Southeast Asian woman, resist the urge to judge too quickly. You don't know their story. Maybe it's exploitation. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's something in between. But whatever it is, it's a mirror. And what it reflects is uncomfortable. A world where affection has become a commodity, where loneliness is an epidemic, and where the gap between rich and poor has grown so vast that love itself can't escape the marketplace. In Southeast Asia, they're not selling bodies anymore. They're selling dreams. And dreams, my friend, are the most expensive illusion of all. If this video resonates with you, then you should check out the next video on why tourists in Southeast Asia want more than just a tour. Click to watch now.